And as the Virginia budget deadline nears, we're learning of a proposed merger between two major energy companies that could have a big impact on Virginia ratepayers. Lieutenant Governor Ghazala Hashmi joining me live. Good to have you with us this morning.
Good morning.
NextEra Energy is saying they plan to purchase Dominion Energy for $67 billion, which essentially would make it the world's largest regulated electric utility. You wrote in an op-ed that essentially suggests you want to slow down this proposed merger. Why?
Absolutely. This is a merger that is going to be so consequential for Virginia, for Virginia's ratepayers. It is, as you said, creating one of the largest regulated utility companies in the entire world. And it's important for us to spend enough time to evaluate what this merger means for Virginia's ratepayers, families, our businesses. And it is not unreasonable to ask that we extend the review process for another 6 months. And in addition to that, I think we need to reevaluate the standard by which the SEC will be taking a look at this merger, making sure that is for the public benefit.
We've seen other states take a full year to assess, in similar deals such as this. Let's go ahead and talk about the budget. Democrats control the state assembly in Virginia, of course, the governor's office as well. What specifically is holding up the budget?
Well, we are almost ready to wrap it all up. The governor sent down 14 amendments, which are good and useful and effective for Virginians. We have the opportunity today to ensure that everything is passed and completed. We will be going into session this afternoon at noon. I'll be presiding over the Senate. I have full confidence that we will take care of the amendments. We will be able to pass the budget completely. And we are going to deliver on the promises that were made to Virginia's families to lower cost in so many different ways.
I'm curious, the budget was already the product of this month's long compromise, right? We're still seeing these changes you all are making less than 48 hours before this potential funding lapse. For people watching at home, how did we get to this point?
Well, budgets are complicated things, and these are the budget for this year is a 2-year budget to determine how we move forward. And these are necessary and important conversations. It's good to have healthy debate around these serious issues, knowing that Virginia's families are struggling, especially given the crisis that we see from the federal government. So when the federal government has taken away effective funding for our hungry families, for our rural communities, for our healthcare system, we had to grapple with what we can do at the state level. And this is why it's taken a little longer this year, because we are trying to respond to the crisis created by Washington. We're ensuring that Virginia remains healthy and strong and economically viable for all families that live here.
I think people empathize and understand when you say the budget is complicated. Is it complicated when you control the government?
It is always a debate on how to make sure that we are fully funding those critical areas. And so when we see the gaps in Medicaid funding coming from Washington, we know our rural hospitals are immediately impacted. We know our struggling families are going to face consequences of losing health insurance. That's what adds the additional complication. How do we fund and support families all across Virginia, given the crisis that we see from Washington?
So with this, the governor returned the negotiated budget. We touched on the 14 amendments. What's the goal here? What are you guys willing to compromise on to move this forward?
I think the governor's amendments are good. They are focused on making sure that there's technical language that ensures that we are able to implement the budget effectively. She has sent down amendments that are clarifying language and providing additional support to Virginia's families. I don't anticipate a long and complicated process today. I think we're going to come in and take up the amendments as were expected last week, and we will finalize this discussion this afternoon.
What would have to happen for you all to miss the deadline?
We are not going to miss the deadline. And that's actually not even possible in Virginia. Unlike Washington, we don't have the option for a continuing resolution. We don't have the option of a budget or a government shutdown. We will get this done, and Virginia's families should have full confidence that this is a budget that supports working families, supports teachers, supports our local governments, so that we can respond in effective ways despite what is happening in Washington, D.C.
Virginia Lieutenant Governor Ghazala Hashmi, thank you so much for your time this morning.